The rookie quarterback class of 2021. They're telling us a lot about how people are submitting their cards for graded. I'll explain on this episode of DIY Sports Cards. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of DIY Sports Cards, a production of Iconic Trading Cards. I'm Ramon. What's up? So, looking at the rookie quarterback class. Their cards have been produced. Donruss rated rookie. Several others came out in 2021. The question has become, where are they being sent for grading? PSA closed their value submissions, and I could argue that economy is still technically closed because they're on heavy allocations right now. With the lower cost of grading through PSA being shut, where are people sending their cards? SGC, there's been a lot of talk that says they're starting to gain market share. And they are. They're actually getting more and more market share. But PSA is still proving to everyone that if you have a premium card, they're getting the submissions for grading. So the rookie class is going to give a great example of the behavior of what's happening between the collector investor and these grading companies. Where are these cards going? Who's doing all the grading? Let's find out. Let's dig into the numbers and see what we got. Okay, so we're going to look at rookie quarterbacks from the 2021 draft class. We're going to start with Mac Jones. We're going to compare his cards graded with PSA, and we're going to compare it to SGC. Okay, the first analysis we're going to look at is the total pop count. What is the total pop count for Mac Jones? Let's see what it looks like. PSA, there are 5,213 total rookie cards by Mac Jones graded with PSA. SGC, 5,910. Interesting. So what this means immediately is the market is leaning towards SGC in the larger volume to get cards graded. But is that the whole story? Let's look deeper. Okay, so if you look at the grading costs of these cards, recall, let's assume that PSA, the cheapest you could have graded is $100. I know $150 was the minimum at the start of the NFL season, but for the sake of this exercise, let's assume that every card graded at PSA was at the lowest cost of $100. And compare that to the $30 cost that SGC has out in the marketplace. What this means is the revenues, the gross revenues, PSA has made $521,300 in gross revenues by grading Mac Jones cards. Whereas SGC, even though they had a higher volume, they've graded to a revenue of $177,300. Folks, this is the first data point that I found most interesting. Mac Jones, he produced this year. People are very interested in collecting his cards, buying his raw cards, getting them graded, turning them to the marketplace, and commanding a nice premium. PSA, if you had that card in a PSA 10, there were instances where that card was going for over $1,000, even one transaction at $3,000. Not sure why, but it happened. People were paying hundreds of dollars, even thousands, to buy this card in a grade 10. It's fascinating when you see the data points. On the SGC side, sure, you paid less and you were able to sell it on the marketplace, but SGC graded cards for a performing quarterback like Mac Jones did not command the premium as you saw with PSA. Let's look a little bit more into the information. All right, so you had Mac Jones. Let's look at the rest of the quarterback class and see how they did from a grading standpoint. All right, going back to total pop count, let's look at Trey Lance. PSA graded 706 of his cards. SGC 2,117 cards. 3-to-1 variance. So SGC graded 3 times the number of cards as PSA has of Trey Lance's rookie cards. Let's go to the next card. Zach Wilson. PSA graded 452 of his rookie cards. SGC graded 1,925 of his cards. That's a 4-to-1 variance. SGC's graded 4 times the number of cards that PSA graded. Next card. Justin Fields. PSA graded 715 of his cards. SGC 2,712 cards. Almost a 4-to-1 difference between SGC and PSA. And lastly, Trevor Lawrence. My name is Trevor. PSA graded 1,888 of his cards. SGC graded 7,418 cards. Again, 4 times the number of cards graded with SGC than with PSA. Interesting facts. What do these numbers tell you? It tells you that, yes, SGC, based on the sample size of rookie quarterbacks from 2021, it tells us that SGC is in fact getting larger market share from a volume standpoint. More and more people are sending their cards to SGC. Now, I think the price point is probably driving the majority of this volume. $30 to grade a card is better than $100. But if you have a card of a player who's actually performing pretty well, as was the case with Mac Jones, that commanded a little bit more of a premium in the marketplace. And people were in fact sending cards to PSA so that they can capture the higher premium than you get with a graded card through SGC. That's an interesting conclusion. And it tells me market share is leaning towards SGC, but from a value standpoint on the secondary market, people really still gravitate towards PSA when they're trying to buy the gem mint. Because Mac Jones's gem rate on a PSA 10 is still over 56%. 56 out of every 100 cards being sent to PSA, that's a Mac Jones card, is coming back a PSA 10. It does not matter. The value at the secondary market is still commanding that premium. SGC, they're doing a good job, and their gem rate is still about 36-37%. So technically speaking, in the long run, ultimately having fewer 10s, that should command a higher premium. But the market has not yet accepted the fact that SGC is the company to go to get that premium. It's just not there yet. Numbers don't lie. I think objectively speaking, PSA is still king. SGC is still gaining market share. I'm a big fan of both, but I'm going to follow the market in this case. If I have a card of a rookie, of a player who is performing well, and the market is commanding a premium value for it, PSA may get the submission for that card. For the longer term plays, where you're actually going long, like Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, those players, where they're not yet performing, but they have the potential to perform, SGC is going to get those cards. And I think ultimately that could help them in the second and third year if, in fact, one of those players do perform well. But also at the same time, SGC may get the premium, but any of those cards graded in a PSA on a performing quarterback next year, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, they're going to command an even higher premium. So right now, SGC is still chasing from a value standpoint, but they are taking the lead when it comes to a volume standpoint in grading. Good for them. Market can never have too many high premium providers of gradings. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Hey, if you like what you hear, and if you're enjoying this content, please subscribe. The more subscriptions we get, the more we can do with this channel. So hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Have a good week. Stay safe. Be healthy. And we'll see you all at the next episode. Peace out.